There have already been a lot of quarterbacks that have entered the transfer portal this offseason. There have been some pretty notable names and some smaller names as well. It could be some time before we see a lot of these quarterbacks transfer to their new programs. Or it could be quick, as we saw Dillon Gabriel announce yesterday that he was transferring to Oregon. Today, we're going to be taking a look at an article from On3 where they predict where the top quarterbacks in the transfer portal are going to end up. We'll start with former Duke quarterback Riley Leonard, and they're predicting that he ends up at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is no stranger to taking quarterbacks from the transfer portal and from the ACC no less. Last season, the Fighting Irish snatched Wake Forest quarterback Sam Hartman from the portal. Riley could keep things rolling. Leonard is an excellent dual-threat quarterback, having run for 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns in his 3-year Duke career. Leonard's season high in passing came in 2022 when he threw for 2,900 yards and 20 touchdowns against just 6 interceptions. For this prediction, I'm probably going to have to agree with them. It seems like as of right now, we've only really heard Leonard being attached to Notre Dame. At least I haven't seen him attached to any other programs. And it seems like a lot of quarterbacks in the transfer portal haven't been linked to Notre Dame as well. So I'll actually be pretty surprised if the Irish don't land Riley Leonard. They have former UCLA quarterback Dante Moore transferring to Michigan State. A talented freshman at UCLA, Moore is headed out and is a potential starter wherever he ends up. Where better a fit than Michigan State, which had trouble with quarterback play throughout 2023 and has seen a trio of quarterbacks hit the portal since. Moore, the former blue chip prospect, threw 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions for the Bruins in 2023 while throwing for 1,600 yards. As a member of the class of 2023, Moore was a 5-star recruit out of Detroit, Martin Luther King. There was an article today in 24/7 Sports that said Dante Moore is still visiting Oregon despite the Ducks landing Dillon Gabriel, so that's a little bit interesting. Back when he was a recruit, Moore had shown interest in Michigan State along with Texas A&M, LSU, Miami, and Michigan, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at one of these programs. But considering Michigan State might not be too aggressive in the transfer portal, Dante Moore going to the Spartans actually makes a lot of sense. This next one is pretty interesting as they have former Kansas State quarterback Will Howard transferring to USC. USC will have a major need at quarterback following the anticipated departure of Caleb Williams, and Lincoln Riley has noted he's open to taking a quarterback from the portal. Howard would be a nice fit as an experienced signal caller who also has some running ability. Howard spent the last 4 years with Kansas State, emerging as a top-notch option. He's coming off his best year with 2,600 passing yards to go with 24 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He also ran for 365 yards and 9 touchdowns. Will Howard is definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the portal, but I just can't see USC picking him up. I think there are a lot of quarterbacks that are better than him, and I don't know, Will Howard just doesn't seem like the kind of quarterback that USC would rely on in 2024. They're making the move to the Big Ten, and they're going to want to be competing for a Big Ten title and potentially a playoff spot, and I'm just not sure if Will Howard is the quarterback that can get USC there. Now, he definitely could, and he might surprise us, but I think USC goes a different direction. Former Washington State quarterback Cam Ward ends up at Ohio State. After going from Incarnate Ward to Washington State, Ward has seen his profile rise yet again. He'll be a coveted prospect in the transfer portal, and a program with a need like Ohio State could easily see the opportunity to capitalize by grabbing a dynamic player like Ward. Ward spent the last 2 seasons at the Palouse after transferring to Washington State from Division II Incarnate Ward. He started 25 games for the Cougars, throwing for more than 6,400 yards and 43 touchdowns while adding 11 more scores on the ground. As of right now, Ohio State is currently the betting favorite to land Ward, followed by USC and Texas A&M right behind them. The Buckeyes are definitely going to add a quarterback via the portal, and I think among all the quarterbacks that are still available, Cameron Ward offers the most upside. He would definitely be an upgrade over Kyle McCord, and I think there's a chance that Ohio State can fully maximize his potential. So I'd actually like to see this pairing. Former Oregon State quarterback DJ Uiagalelei transfers to Florida State. After a 1-year stint out west, Uiagalelei has re-entered the transfer portal, and there might just be a perfect playoff contender waiting to scoop him up. Florida State. The Seminoles will have to replace Jordan Travis, and Uiagalelei put together a really nice year after getting a fresh start. He'll provide whatever team that picks him up with a real bonus. He's already been through a transfer and has proven he can adapt quickly. Moreover, he's responsible for 8,300 yards passing and 57 touchdowns, while rushing for 1,100 yards and 21 scores in his career. I have seen some rumors that he would follow his former head coach to Michigan State, but it's sounding like that's probably not going to happen. A lot of people really think that him and Florida State would be a great pairing, and I agree as well. Plus, it gives him a chance to go back to the ACC and face Clemson. So I'm all for it, and I hope we see this one happen. We talked about Kyle McCord earlier, but this has him going to Miami. Miami has a needed quarterback following the departure of Tyler Van Dyke, and the Ohio State to Miami transfer has happened before with the likes of Tate Martell. Of course, Miami would be getting a more proven passer this time, one likely to stick at quarterback. In his first year as a starter, McCord led Ohio State to an 11-1 record, but the lone loss came in Michigan on the final drive. He beat out Devin Brown to take over for CJ Stroud this season. In 12 games, McCord had 3,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 66% completion percentage. This one would definitely be interesting, as I don't know what to make of Kyle McCord. Personally, I didn't think he was that great of a quarterback, as he had a pretty underwhelming season, especially considering the weapons that were surrounding him. Anytime he played in a major game, he really didn't do all that much. Miami could use an upgrade at the quarterback position, but I'm not sure if Kyle McCord would be that guy. I mean, essentially, he could be the exact same quarterback as Tyler Van Dyke. Former Mississippi State quarterback Will Rogers going to Washington. What team is better suited for a quarterback that came up in Mike Leach's air raid system than Washington, which has its own high-flying passing attack? Rogers would figure to make a seemingly seamless transition following the expected departure of Michael Penix. Rogers is one of the nation's most prolific passers. In 4 years with the Bulldogs, he threw for over 12,000 yards with 94 touchdowns and 28 interceptions. With another season, Rogers will have an excellent shot to finish in the top 10 in NCAA history in career passing yardage. Yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing this one, and I think it would be a fantastic fit. When Rogers was playing under Leach, he was one of the best passers in all of college football and was near the top when it came to passing yards and passing touchdowns. That wasn't the case this year under a brand new coaching staff. But if you put him at Washington under that offense, there's a chance he can replicate what he was doing the last couple of years. Former Coastal Carolina quarterback Grayson McCall ends up at UCF. The Coastal Carolina quarterback hit the transfer portal last season before ultimately removing his name. This time around, he could find a home in a Power 5 team like UCF, which has a needed quarterback going forward. The veteran can offer some solid production. He's thrown for 10,000 career yards as well as 88 touchdowns and just 14 interceptions. Meanwhile, he's added 1,100 yards rushing and 18 touchdowns on the ground, a versatile threat. He just has to stay healthy after losing parts of the last 2 seasons due to injury. This would definitely be an interesting one, as we've seen UCF quarterbacks thrive the last couple of years. Grayson McCall has a lot of experience, and he's done well during his time with Coastal Carolina. It would be interesting to see how he would look making the jump up to a Power 5 school. So where do you think the top quarterbacks are going to end up this offseason? Do you agree with the predictions in this video, or do you think these quarterbacks are going to end up somewhere else? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos all off season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.